Hello everyone, Marcus again in one more tutorial and following the tutorials of interaction design, prototyping and animation. Today I want to bring it here a tutorial where I'm going to explain in details all the transitions that Figma has. So follow me and let's jump into today's tutorial. Summary. What is this? Types of transitions. When does that happen? When the user goes from a page to the other page, or after the system processed the user request, or when other app takes place, like the phone app when someone is ringing you. For example, you are using WhatsApp, but if your friend, your colleague, your relative, your boyfriend, girlfriend, parents, whatever, when someone calls you, the phone application will go over what you are doing before. So um, the transition, they can happen in some situations like this. Perhaps you can imagine some situations you can face another type of moments, but in a nutshell, I think that you got my point. So what are the recommendations to solve this problem? It's not a real problem, but follow the orientations of the flow or navigation. Follow the design patterns. This part here I consider really important. Following the design patterns. I'm trying to bring here as much as possible design patterns. I started with a material design which Android uses, but in the future I will bring it here patterns from other platforms. For example, we'll see a little of patterns in desktop applications and dashboards, websites, and then in the future iOS as well. So there are many kinds of patterns. There are hybrid patterns, but there are specific patterns for each platform. So I consider this part here really important. If you are new here in my channel, I recommend you to step back, turn around, and go to the previous tutorials, because I recorded about 21 tutorials explaining how to design material design stuff. Some types of, oops, here it's wrong, I took from other tutorials, so I apologize for that. Other types of transitions. So we got instant, dissolve, smart animate, move in, move out, push, slide in, and slide out. So here we have some reference that I brought. I brought a lot of them, a lot. We will see in details each type of transition, and then we got this briefing over here. We are going to make 3 flows. The first one, we are going to use dissolve transitions. The second one, we are going to use smart animation transition, and the last one, we are going to use push transition. So we will understand a lot of things about transitions, and then it will be time to do our own transitions in our projects. That might be personal project, side project, or client projects, because my proposal here is to teach you, and so you can a motorcycle pass it by here down the street, and apologize for the noisy. And my proposal here is to teach you so you can get a job, you can earn your own money, you can do freelancers as well. So I want to help you while I'm helping myself, because my proposal over here too, I have 2 proposals. One of them, it is to help you, and the other one is to help myself, because like you probably realize it, I am not a native speaker, and for this reason I want to improve my English. And then I have been speaking English for couple of years, but I want to improve that to sound more natural, to be closer to native speaker when they speak. So this is my proposal here, two of them. Okay, so let's see the reference that I brought here. Like I said before, we have a lot of them. The first one, okay, we have this here, instant. I prepared it before, so you don't need to be concerned. We will see in details, like I said before. I'm going to show my UI design, right click, show UI, and then we got this here. I need to go to prototype section, right? And then I can see this connector, this line connecting this button to this page. And then let me see if I have something to come back. I think that I don't, but it's not a problem. So let's test that. I will select this screen right here, and then I click in present. I wait a little because the first time that Figma is going to present my prototype, it will take some time to load. It's wrong here. It shouldn't appear this way. So let me see what's going on. I think that I know the reason. It's important to drag. I have to ungroup this. It's grouped. I have to ungroup. So I go right click and I decided to go to ungroup. Now I can see even this flow number one. Now it's possible to click here too. So let's see. I click here. I go straight to my presentation tab, which was open before. Now I'm gonna click. So I said that we are going to see this first one, which is named instant. So we got this instant transition. So let's see. When I click here, it's instant. I think that you didn't realize what happened. So I will press R and then I come back to the place where I was before. And then I will do the same thing. I will click here. It's just instant, automatic, rapidly. We can't realize that. So this is the most common sort of transition, right? So let's see more transitions that we have. Next one, let's see. We have this one here. I'm gonna hide my UI because I want to have more room to show you. We have this one here named solve. I grouped it before. I'm gonna ungroup this right now. And then I can see over here, actually, I can't see. I have to show my UI. Design, prototype. I can see this little part here. Yeah. So I will select this one here. Then I will click present. And then I went to the other transition. This one here is named solve. Keep attention. Dissolve. When I click here, see the interaction, the transition, it's a little slightly different. See, I can press Control minus and Control plus, so I can increase my prototype, its size. So I have this here, and then when I navigate, when I click here, oops, let me press R. Oops, I have to step back over here. And then I click present again. Let me diminish the zoom. And see, the transition is slightly different. I can see a little the page I was before and the page that I'm going to. So see that again. This transition. Let's go to the next one. So we have here is smart animate. Keep attention, remember that smart animation. I select this frame, this page, then I press present, and then I press or click or tap next. See, what happened. I will step back here, and then I have more things to show. For example, one thing over here I was about to show you further, but I will show you now. We have this little thing here named flow, right? We can create more of this. It's going to be easier to navigate. I will show you how to create that. We select the first page of our flow, and then here we have interactions, right? And then we have this little section over here named flow starting point. Plus now I got flow number 2. So when I click here now, I can see flow 1 and flow 2. And I can even name my flows to help me. For example, this one here is named flow 2. I can name it dissolve, right? And I can, for example, have some number to help me to locate myself. And this one here, it's gonna be 1 instant, for example. And then when I come back here, I can see instant and I can see dissolve, right? It's better to have some space here. So I can rename clicking twice here, or I can click here too. You decide which one is better for you. So let's see dissolve again. Dissolving like this. The next one, smart animate. So I select here. See, I have some interaction. I don't have interaction from screen to screen. I have interaction from button to screen, right? So when I click here, I don't see any interaction. But when I click on this button, I can see this interaction named click. And then I have this one here. From the click to the page named typing email. Right, so I select here and then I have nothing in this section named flow starting point. So I click plus and I name properly 3-point space smart animate, just like this. And then I press this little arrow, or I press this little arrow over here, I decide. And now we have this third section. I can navigate between them. You don't see the difference because the first screen, I'm sorry, they are the same for all the flows. So smart animate, when I click here, see, something slightly different happens. I press R and then I go back to the beginning of the flow and I click next again. See, I will show you in details again. This transition is slower. This text is slower too, but see the button. It has some animation, you know, it has some micro interaction that brings more beauty to our prototype, more pleasant moments, let's say this way. Let's come back to our designs. Now we got this one here named moving left. So I will ungroup. Then I select here, I will add starting point, I will name number 4, move in left, right? And then I test. And after I will show you all the details, how we can do all of those things. So let's test. Now we have this number 4. When I tap here, see what happens. I press R again. I click here. This is the move in. It's being moved from right to left. Okay? From right to left. Just like this. Let's go to the next one, number 5. We got this moving right. So number 5, move in right. It's the same thing, but exactly the opposite. See, Let's go to the next one. Moving down. Number 6, I suppose so. See? Down. Moving down from top to down. Press R, test again, press R, test again, press R, test again. As much as you want. Let's see the next one. Number 7, moving up. Whoops, what did I do? 7, moving up. Test. It's important to mention that understanding the patterns of micro-interaction, understanding the patterns of transitions, we can use the right transition in the right place, because it's not like a carnival, it's not like a party where we can use things the way that we want. There are some structure, there are some order, there is some structure, there is some order, that is the right way of doing things properly. But we will learn those things along the time. Now, okay, this section is done. Let's go to the next one. We are proceeding. Don't be in a hurry, because designers have to be patient. Number 7, this one should be right. 6. No, that's right. 7 is this one. Okay. Now we are going to have the number 8. Move left. Let's see the difference. Move left. 8. Move out. Actually, not move left. Move out left. Let's see what happens. You see? It's being moved from right to left. Let's see that again. And there is difference between move in and move out. Let's see the details. When we go to move in, for example, move in left, to compare with move out left. When we click here, the new screen will come from nothing to replace the previous screen, right? You can see like this, from nothing to replace the previous screen. When we are using this transition named move out, it's slightly different. See, it's already in the place that it should be, and then it will disappear. It will go to left, disappearing, not coming from nothing, but going to any place, anywhere. So this is the difference. Number 9, move out right. Let's add flow starting point. Number 9, move out. Oops, right. Okay, let's see how it goes. The same one, but going to the artboard, going to the frame, from the frame to nothing, going to the right direction and disappear in anywhere. We can increase here this section so we can see more, we can have more room over here, right? So let's speed up because we have a lot of things to see. Starting point, now it's going to be the number 10. Okay, move all down. Oops. Let's test. The same thought, but going down. Same thought, going down. And now, to finish the section, move out up. 11, I suppose. Oops. 11, I suppose so. Move out, test. Same energy, same thing, same feeling, same approach, but going in other direction. All right, so let's see what is expecting for us in the next session. In the next session, we have push left. Let's see what the hell is push left. I suppose so. Push left. It's similar, but is slightly different because the screen, they are moving together. So the screen I'm seeing right here, right in this point, it will be moved. It's like if the next screen is pushing the previous screen. It's not going over, not going under, but pushing to the left. See, they work together, right? Together. So the number 13 will be exactly the same, but going to the other direction. So 13, not plus, but period, push right, test. Okay. Push down, number 14. I'm getting voiceless. I have to drink some water. Push down. Cool. And push up. 15. Push up. Cool. Let me drink some water here. Much better. Next one, let's go to the slide in section. I'm gonna ungroup this. It's gonna be 17, I think so. I'm not totally sure about that, but I think so. Slide in left. Let's play and let's see. It is slightly different if you realize that. See, slightly different. What's the difference? The previous screen will be like with some overlay. It will be like a little darker, and it will disappear softly, slowly. And it goes under this new screen that appears here. So now let's go to the right direction. 18, slide in right, right. Exactly the same thing, but going in the other direction. Slide in down, 19, is that right? Whoops. I have to click here first. Slide in, down, test and see. Good. Slide in, up, 20, up, I think so. Yes, it's ordered here, exactly the way we are doing. And then having this naming properly those sections, we can speed up our prototype testing because we can navigate through the sections that we want to test, and then we can have a prototype split in many sections. So like this one here. So we ended up We are finishing just one more, and then we go to our briefing to do our own prototypes. Slide out left. It will be really similar to the previous one we just saw a couple of seconds ago. Let's see. Let's add 21. It's gonna be 21. Yes, I think so. 21. Because I'm talking here, I'm moving my mouse, I'm typing the stuff, and I'm trying to memorize the numbers sometimes. I can't manage all those things. So 21, slide out, left, test. So the slide out, the slide is slightly different, right? Because it's the opposite of what we saw before. Slide in, we see the things go in, you know, the new screen will get in, will take place, will go to the stage, right? And the slide out it's the opposite. The screen that was being presented will be replaced by the new one. 22. Tests. Same energy, same thing, other direction. 23. Down. Test and see. Is that right? Yes, that is right. So let's go with 24. The last one, I suppose. So 24. Slide out. Test and see. Cool. Now we don't have any transition more to display. Now it's time to see our briefing and to do our own prototypes. So our briefing, our challenge. So we have to let me read that again so we can understand that together. We need to do 3 flows. The first one will be create one flow with dissolve transition. Then we have to create one flow with smart animation transition, and then we have to create one flow with push transition, just like this. All right, so let's do that. I will hold this background over here, and this one too. Actually, I could hold only this one. Yeah, that's right. And now we can another motorcycle here where I live in Brazil, Sao Paulo, my country and my city. There are many motorcycles. So that happens. So I will do a dummy thing, a little idiot, let's say this way, thing. Because we are prototyping screens, really complex and so, but we can prototype small things too. I will press A. I will draw something like this. It's gonna be white, okay? I will decorate a little this thing. I'm gonna go some effect, drop shadow, 16 here. It's a magical number. And then I want to have things round like this, and then I want to rename something like A, or let's see our dissolve have the same name, it's important. Let's see, dissolve A, Control D to duplicate. Whoops, too far. Let me bring this here closer. So dissolve A and dissolve B. I like to have things named properly. So let me copy here dissolve transition. Okay, let's paste it here. Oops. It's, yeah. So I will type like this because I blocked the background. So let's have something like this. Dissolve transition. Okay, cool. And then inside of this place, I'm gonna draw some boring element. I will press O to oval, and I will draw some oval like this. I'm drawing inside of this screen, this page. I can name like oval or ellipse, whatever, and I can align like this. If that is outside of my screen, I can cut, select the screen, the frame, and then paste inside, and then I can align like this. You know, we talked about that many different times. And then I'm gonna change this color. Let's have something different right here. So we got this, and then I will press R, and I will design some rectangle like this. Press V, call rectangle. I'm gonna call shape, whatever. You can name the way you prefer. Align, the color, some different color too. So the briefing that was telling that we have to make some flow using dissolve transition. Okay, so it's pretty easy. We have to select not the page for this time, not the frame, but the element that will be the trigger. So I will select this shape over here, go to prototype, and then we have interactions here, right? I will open this section. Then we have many interactions. We are not going to see the different types of interactions this time, right? We are going to go with this on click. We'll connect, navigate, overlap, whatever. We are not using this for this time too. I just want to click here and whoops, what's going on? Oh, I want to connect. Yeah, okay. Sometimes when I have frames over frames over frames, this sort of things they happen. Let's see. Yeah, I have to move out. Now it's happening. So on click, navigate to dissolve B, and we need to follow the briefing. Dissolve transition, not instant, but dissolve. But I want to test with you all the things that I did, that I showed you. So when you want to use different sorts of transitions, you know where to find them. Okay, so let's test the first one. Let me zoom in. I press Z for zoom, and then I can do this, cover what I want, and then I zoom in. So here I'm gonna call dissolve transition. For example, if you delete, if you don't have this part here, you can add here, like I showed you before. When we select this part, see, it's removed, but I can add, and then I can name dissolve transition. Okay, but before we are going to test the instant transition. We have this animation here to demonstrate exactly the way it happens, instant. Okay, let's test. Click here. Now we have this section over here, dissolve transition. When we click, we go instantly to the other frame. Okay, then I have no link to come back. Any link, I didn't set any link to come back. I can press R, so I go to the beginning of this flow. For this reason, it's important to have this flow starting point over here. So when I press R, I just come back to the place where I was. I can zoom in a little, so press R. But I can have a link back, and I can have exactly the same thing. So I select this shape, and then I make the link back, not to the shape, but to the page, this white form over here. Instant as well. And now test it. Click here. We go, we come back. We go, we come back. We go, and we come back. Right? But the briefing was telling that we have to use dissolve. When I select dissolve, I have some parameters over here. But let's test the dissolve to go. So test here. See the dissolve. But when I come back, it's instant. Dissolve, instant. Dissolve, instant. Dissolve, instant. Okay? And then we have these 300 milliseconds. We can decrease like 1 millisecond. Let's test. Solve really quickly. We can't realize that. We can't see. It's like instant. So I diminish a lot to demonstrate that it's possible to use this way. I don't know if people they are going to use this way, but it's possible. And then that was 300 milliseconds. When I test again, see, we have some time to see things dissolving. And I can even increase it more if I want, like, for example, 1200. Let's see what happens. Slower, you know? And now you know how to use this. That is this thing over here too. Is in, is out. For example, linear. It's like, see this animation over here, linear. It starts and it ends with the same curve, with the same speed. We can change is in, see what happens. Takes time to start and then go faster. Let's test. Takes a lot of time and then go faster. We can see because we don't have any animation properly speaking, but by the GIF over here, you could realize, right? So we have is in, is out, is the opposite, right? Then we have is in and out. It starts slow, get faster, then gets slow again. Is in back, is out back. We have a lot of things to test. See, we can even see some curve over here, right? Custom Bezier. This curve is the animation curve. I don't want to go for this time too deep to show things for you. I don't want to make you crazy or upset with me. But it's important to mention that we have a lot of things like quick, bouncy, slow, custom spring. We will see more in details those things in future tutorials, not now. Okay? So it's important to see that we can select, for example, linear. We can increase and decrease. This is the basic. Okay, the basic. And then to come back, it's still faster. So let's have 300 like that was before. And to come back, it is instant. By now, I'm gonna go with dissolve again. And then we test the way to go, the way to come back, the way to go, the way to come back. Dissolve. Okay. So let's go to the next one. We have more things in our briefing to test. Now I think that we can move things like this because software won't change our connections. And this one, the next one's gonna be smart animation transition. Let's see what happens. Smart animation transition. I can copy from here to speed up my process. and then I paste it here. And then I can change the color just to, let me come back to design tab. Then I change the color just to know where I am. I can change, for example, positions, manage things like this. I can have something like this just to, you know, to change slightly. Changing this color too, something like this. Now we have already our connections because we copied, and when we copy all the connections, they go together like here, we can see. So this copy, it's not going to be dissolved anymore. I will change the artboard name, the frame name, A and B. And then I will explore a little more. So we got dissolve over here. Now it's time for smart animation. Not smart animation, smart animate. I'm sorry about that. Smart animate. Let me change it here. And here too. And here too. And there too. Let's see. Smart animate. Good. So let's test that. Let's see what happens. So we just need to come here and to change. Before that was dissolve, we change to smart animate. There are some parameters like the same thing that I will show you in the future, and then we can control the time that things that will happen. I will change like to have something like 800 like this, and 800 here too. It will be slower, will take a lot of time, but don't worry, it's gonna be cool. See what happens. It's smart. What is about smart animate? Smart animate is something really cool because the software will try to make shapes that were in the first artboard into the shapes that were in the second artboard. So this is pretty cool. Let's see how what happens when we come back. See, it's pretty cool. There are many possibilities to be creative, to have really good interactions and prototypes and animations. The sky is the limit, like I like to say. So, and we just have one shape in each artboard. We can have even more. Let's see what happens if I add more elements. Like, let's suppose I'm doing some layout like this. So now let's see what happens when we test. See, disappear. Why it disappears? Why does that disappear? Because I don't have a correspondent in the next screen. But if I do, see, I will copy from here, I paste it here, and I change position, something like this. I will come back to design because it's important to have that in mind, so we can align things better, move like this, move like that. And then let's test. Let's come back to the prototype tab and see what happens when we activate our prototype. See? Movement, interaction, animation. And like I told you before, we can control the speed of this trigger. Maybe 200 to go, and maybe, let's see, 1000 to come back. Let's see what happens. Let's test. It goes faster and comes back slow. Goes faster, comes back slow. Comes back slow. Comes back slow. Go faster. Goes. Oh my god. Again. Goes faster. Comes back slow. Goes faster. Comes back slow. Yeah. Okay, so smart animate, we can have more types of transitions, and then we will have So in our briefing, we have more things to do. Let me place this beautiful thing here, or let me think, maybe moving this way, centralizing to have more room, more free space, aligning this way too. Cool. Now before we go and finish this class, this tutorial, let's see the other interactions, the other transitions actually that I didn't show you guys. So we saw instant, dissolve, smart animate, and we have, for example, here moving. Then we have left, right, down, and top. Let's test. Left. Then we change and tests. Let me zoom in here. Cool. Now it's right. Now we test that again. Down. See, it's different. No more smart animate. It's different now. Different transition. Up. No more cool, but useful, functional, the way it should be. Now we got move out to same structure. Let's test. Left. And I explained it to you. If you are confused yet, I recommend you to step back and to see the first part of the video or some part in the middle. I don't remember the position that I said that, but I explained in details when I was walking you through all the reference that I did before. So here in this section, I explained all the details that we are reviewing exactly now. So right. So down. There is no way of doing something wrong. It's easier to manage. I trust you because you guys, you are clever, you are smart. I know that you are dedicated and you will know how to figure those things out. Then we got push. Let's see, push. Left, right. Then we got down and up. We are finishing. Cool. Next one. Then we got slide in. I showed you before too. See, slide in. Top. I will do the opposite now. Sliding down, sliding right, and finally sliding left. Cool. We finished this section, and now the last one before we come back to our briefing. We saw sliding. We can use smart animate to match layers too. I didn't mention that before, but in many of those over here, you can see move in, move out. We can, it's a new feature. I can't remember when Figma implemented this, but now it's possible to select smart animate to match layers, and then we can test like this and see, right? So we can see the screens having transition or not. We decide. I prefer to go this way because when I want to use smart animate, I prefer to see the smart animate properly. But when I want to see the standards, the patterns, they are really well established. The users, when they are using applications, interfaces, they know when they interact with things, what is expected. Even they don't know how to explain it, but they feel that because they are using applications for many time, many years, I don't know, maybe decades, weeks, months, years, whatever, you know. So these transitions, they are really important. Cool. The last one, it's gonna be slide out. I showed you before, so like this, like this, like this, and finally let's select here like this. Cool. Okay, now let's see our briefing to finish this class. Push transition. I'm gonna copy from here to speed up my workflow. I paste it here, push transition. I name my screens properly. Oops. Like this I have A, and like this I have B. Now I will change my shapes just to make things different. I will delete this one. I have no connections anymore. I step back to design, and then I come here. Let me make some star. Why not? Let's see. This is star. I'm gonna delete this and this. I'm gonna change the color of my star. Something I didn't use yet in this tutorial. Centralize like this. And I can enjoy this time to show you more things. For example, I have this star 5 points, but there is a possibility of changing that. If I select it here, I have some parameters. For example, I may have more, like a ninja star, and I can use this thing too. Yeah, we don't use that so often, but it's cool. When you wanna do some illustration or something like this, it's important to know that there are many possibilities. And then let's come back to prototype. Interaction, it's gonna be push transition, right? So we connect like this, and then we go to push. And push, we have a lot of different pushes. I will keep left, and to come back I will change to right. The time I will let 300, just left and right. And now I test. See, left and right. It's logic, it's understandable, it's easy to comprehend. Okay, so we finished our tutorial, we finished our class. Let me place this exercise over here, this design drill exactly in this place, and we are done. Thank you for watching one more tutorial. Thank you so much for comment. Thank you for liking. Thank you for your patience to wait for new tutorials, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys, stay safe. See you in the next one. Bye bye.